Good day, everybody. There's three aspects that are going to determine compensation in the future: competition, organizational profitability, and employee worth. Let's talk about each one. So first, competition. How is competition going to determine employees' compensation? Well, it depends on how valuable you are. It depends on those that can do jobs for you. And it depends on who can create the products and services that your company is creating. So we see that the very first aspect that's going to determine an employee's compensation really has very little to do with the employee in and of themselves. In fact, the first two of these three variables really are beyond the capability or capacity of an employee. So competition, which is the first aspect that determines employees' compensation, is really determining the market. What's the market for that type of not just job, but also that type of product or service that's created? We're seeing more and more of these products or services are being created, manufactured overseas. Yes, they may be designed in the United States, but they're being created overseas. As a result, there's many more people who can do that job. More people means that there's more competition. More competition means that there's a struggle for salaries. When not many people can do what you do, you can charge more for it. When more people can do what you do, you charge less for it. Or you have to be that much better for the money that you make. Competition is one. Second is organizational profitability. I would say that you have to have a willingness to pay, but you also have to have an ability to pay. An ability to pay comes from organizational profitability. So organizations, by and of themselves, have to be profitable in order to pay someone some money, some compensation. It's very difficult to pay somebody something if you don't have the money to pay them. And so, we need to look for companies that are strong, viable, that have a future that's promising, rather than some that's maybe last season or last decade. The more promising the future of your organization, the better chance you are, the better position you are to garner some additional monies. So organizational profitability is the second factor that determines compensation today. Again, they may have the willingness to pay, but they have to have the ability. They actually have to have the money. Flip side is they may have the ability to pay you more, but they may not have a willingness to pay you more. They may not have a willingness because they would rather spend the money on investments, something that is going to create more future growth as opposed to pay someone for past growth or past performance. Last is employee worth. You have to be worth it. You have to be worth more than somebody wants to pay. You have to be worth every dime that you're getting paid. What we're seeing with 30% of the jobs going away today is that fewer and fewer people are going to be able to be employed. That's because there's more people than there are good jobs. There's a lot of not so good jobs, which we would call minimum wage or low skill, low knowledge, low ability jobs. But those aren't going to create a standard of living that's acceptable for the average American family, our family throughout the world. So the employee's worth has really taken a hit these days. And that's why, in order to have any semblance of worth in the marketplace, you have to be able to offer something that no one else does and offer it in a way that no one else can. And that comes down to three components, which I've talked about quite a bit. One is that you have to work hard. There's very few things that can't be overcome if you work hard. Second is you have to be likable. You have to be a person that people want to be around. It's an important trait. And lastly, you have to overcome any challenge along the way. No matter what the challenge is, you have to keep going. Never give in, never give up. Never give in, never give up. Those that have that attitude typically work out better in the long run. So there you have it. That's what makes compensation today. That's what ensures that you'll get the compensation that you deserve. And hopefully, you can go along that track to increase your compensation in an often uncertain world. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the day.